everybody, how are you? I hope you're having a great start to the week. Today I wanted to talk more about the miracle mindset because that is, of course, the theme for this year, this month actually, for the month of November. And if you've been following my videos, particularly for this month, I've been talking about the miracle mindset. And what that means is staying in the place of trust and belief, and staying in the place that the universe is working in your favor. Now, one of the things that I want to clarify is this concept of the universe, because I see it tossed around so much. Like, I've put it out to the universe, I've asked the universe, I'm begging the universe, and what is the universe? And to me, that is if you want to believe in the divine, that's great. We can call it divine intelligence. I always say, in a very simplistic term, if you do yoga, it's that natural life force energy, prana, and that's what we're using to co-create. I do believe in that there is a higher intelligence, because I just look at the miracle of life. When babies are being born, you cannot build a baby. It takes 9 months, and it has a systematic process, which of course can be different for different children, because we all turn out towards in highest greatest service of our souls and ourselves in this lifetime. But it's that growth period that is enabling us to be who we are, and we don't want to rush the time to have a baby. We want that to take its time. And if you've ever been around mothers who are ready to give birth, they'll always say, we don't want an early baby, we want the baby to be healthy. And so what we're doing is just trusting into that. Marianne Williamson talks about this energy that is in you but not of you, and that's what we're tapping into. So when we're working with the miracle mindset, it's working with this energy and trusting that it is always in our favor. And I can tell you that that is probably the biggest challenge that I've ever come across. And for me to say that is a huge thing, because I always believed in it. That was always my belief system now I'm 41, and up until 37, this was always my operating system. And then I really got deeply into this work, particularly with A Course in Miracles, which is a spiritual textbook, which if anybody is ever interested in going on that journey, I would highly recommend it. It will really change the way you look at your life. The biggest thing that A Course in Miracles has taught me is how we have so much power within ourselves, in our whole entire being, to be right-minded, to choose a place of higher thought, of higher service for us that helps us. It showed me how addicted we are to deprivation and lack in our thoughts, thinking that life is not on our side, and thinking that it really just showed me my own power, how much I can take responsibility for. Because in throwing things out to the universe, what it has taught me is that we're not taking enough responsibility for ourselves. That there is so much more within us that we are capable of, and life is still aligned with us. However, with that caveat, one thing I found on this journey is that the more and more power we're able to take back, the universe, life, will throw us situations and ask us to solve them for ourselves. And that's been incredibly challenging, because sometimes I'm like, what is happening in my life? So much of my life has changed energetically, but not necessarily on the outside, but really on the inside of me, which shows me how much there was inside of me to heal and to make change and to find my true power in every situation. As an example, I've been doing a lot of work on myself, especially as a dancer, over the past summer. And now we're in November, and I'm still continuing this work. And I would say it's really been the work of my lifetime to come to peace with myself as an artist. And I found this wonderful teacher who was so positive and saw the light in me. And I realized how I needed to really see the light in myself. And this has been my journey. This is how I got into the coaching work, but also showed me how much more room I had to heal. And what this showed me is, and it's been really interesting because I've been reading a lot about this, because every time we are allowing other people to give us our own the validation, we're saying that we trust more in what they think of us than what we think of ourselves, which is crazy. It should never be that way. We should never be giving that much power up to someone else. The true power comes from within. when we start to see that, we start to see how much power we have within ourselves, how much power we have in every cell of our being, in our minds, in our hearts, in our organs, in our soul, in our spirits. It's amazing. You just see, like, I just imagine it like my whole body is filled with, or even like being like a balloon just full of space that can be taken up. And it showed me how I was only filling up that balloon with maybe a certain percentage of my own self-responsibility or my own validation or everything that I could do for myself. And now I see how great that space is to fill it up with my own self-worth or self-validation or self-power. And when I say self-power, I really think it's about how much we're thinking in our own minds about ourselves or about the situation, how much power we have in our own minds to think, yes, this is happening in my favor. It really is a shift in perception from fear to love. Instead of thinking, oh, the whole world is against me, what's up with the universe? It's saying, instead of thinking, why is this happening to me? We can say, how is this? What is this teaching me? And it just goes to show how deeply and how widely we can go and how high we can go in our own minds to take responsibility for ourselves. And that is the miracle mindset, because we're always trying to look at this, not even trying, we always are staying in the miracle mindset, which is this place of higher thoughts, which serve us better. And the reason for that is because life is easier. You know, instead of looking at a project and thinking we're not good enough, or we're never going to make it, or this idea is a stupid idea, what if everything that we did, every single project that we took on, every single thought that we had about ourselves already was in a place of higher service? So we're always saying to ourselves, yes, I'm capable. Yes, this is what I meant to do. Yes, I can do this. Yes, this project is in alignment with me. And even as I'm saying this, I can feel my momentum really getting geared up. I feel so much space opening up within my whole being for me to look at where it's actually a tough one to explain, but like, where inside myself am I not believing? Because I have to look at where inside myself do I have this capacity to believe? And there is so much more capacity, because my thoughts are turned to a place of higher service, and that is the miracle mindset. And one thing I always say is that we always have free will, and therefore, like, if there's anything you ever learn from these videos, is that we do have free will, and that we have the power to change our lives. We have the power to think differently. We have the power, exactly that, to change our lives. It's all up to us. So this miracle mindset, it's not about throwing it out to the universe. It's actually about turning it within, because the universe is inside us, and saying, what do I need to change? Where do I have the power to change anything in myself? Again, what do I need to change? What are my thoughts that are not serving me? And what do I need to turn them to in order to have them serve me? Because when you're in that space of nothing's happening in my favor, we're blocked. We're not looking at anything. We're not seeing the opportunities in front of us. When we're in the miracle mindset, we are open to possibility. We are open to our lives being made into, like, to reaching the highest, greatest possibility. And that is the point of our lives, is actually self-actualization. We are supposed to get to these places. And life is already set up according to the Course in Miracles. The first principle of A Course in Miracles is that we're already set up to achieve our highest, greatest potential. It's already there. We don't need to add more. So really, I feel like the miracle mindset is letting go of things, letting go of the things that don't serve us, so we can just naturally align and be in tune with the things that do serve us. So I hope that made sense. If it didn't, just let me know, and I will quite happily do more videos. It's a topic that I'm so passionate about, because it has really taught me about my own power, about how I'm looking at things is where the answer lies. It's in my perception. It's in my approach that where my power is, where my power to change things is. And with the miracle mindset, it's actually taking the path of easier, what is it? You can take the path least traveled, or what is it, the harder path? But in fact, you're taking the easier path when you're choosing alignment, when you're choosing to think, yes, this is in my favor. It's so much easier than thinking, no, it's not, and blocking it out. And so why not choose a path that is going to be easier for us? It's not a reflection on us. In fact, I think it takes more strength to choose that easier path, to trust, because this is going to ask everything of you, to dig deep into every cell of your being, to dig deep into your guts and your mind and your heart and your soul in order to really, really trust that this is your path, that you are on the right path, and to stay the path, particularly when you're not seeing the results of all the seeds you've been planting. I think there's a period of time right now where a lot of us aren't necessarily seeing the seeds that we're planting, but we're having to trust, and that is keeping us forward on the path towards where our destination, and it's keeping us focused on our journey. And again, you have to dig deep. And I think this path is keeping us in a place of surrender because, as an example, I do a lot of projections for my business, and then invariably nothing will happen. But what I can see is how much more foundation I need to build in order to have such a strong foundation for a very successful business. And staying in the miracle mindset when you are not seeing the fruits of your labor is probably, I think the greatest challenge we'll ever come across, is knowing that somehow this is all working out in your favor. So on that note, I wanted to introduce a book that I am reading. It's called The Surrender Experiment, and it's by Michael A. Singer, who is the same author as who wrote The Untethered Soul. And I just saw it on Amazon. Oh, did I hold it up upside down? I think I did. Okay, there you go. The Surrender Experiment. And he made a commitment to just surrender whatever was going to come up to him in life's path. And he ended up going out into the woods and learning to meditate, and then starting a spiritual center, which led to him doing computer programming and teaching himself to code, which led to him having this incredible business doing software for medical companies and insurance companies. And then it turned into $1 billion merger. And he was having to work with all these really high-level people and manage an incredible group and be a really strong leader in business, and all because he was continuously surrendering. And every time he wanted to impose his will on it, he just reminded himself of this promise to keep on surrendering. And that, I think, is an example of staying true to the miracle mindset, because he always was trusting that everything was in his favor and everything was there in his path to teach him what he needed in order to get to whatever stage in life that life had for him. So this book is really teaching me about the miracle mindset and how to gracefully stay in tune with it and stay aligned with it. So as a task for today, I would love for you to look at, and I say this over and over and over again, look at where you are not choosing love. Look at where you are not choosing thoughts of highest service, where you're not choosing feelings about your situation of highest service, where you're not speaking your truth from highest service. I hope that resonates with you. I would love to know what you think. I hope this has made an impact for you. I would love to hear from you. Please do comment in the thread below. Let me also know about any future videos you would like. Please do share this with your friends. And if you're in Vancouver, I have a workshop coming up on March 9th. It's really all about this work. I would love to have you there, and please do get in touch if you'd like to learn more, and I will send you some more details, and the general information will be coming out about the workshop soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back later this week with more videos.